He used to wake up every morning with a list. A list of goals, habits, dreams, a map of who he should be. Cold shower, workout, read, work, grind. He did everything right. Everything the winners did. But somewhere between the check marks and the exhaustion, he lost something. Joy, peace, himself. He wasn't living anymore, he was performing. And one morning, staring at the mirror, he whispered a question he'd been avoiding. Why do I feel like I'm losing when I'm doing everything to win? That's where the paradox begins. We chase success like it's oxygen. We build routines like fortresses to protect ourselves from failure. We tell ourselves that motivation is everything, that if we just care more, push harder, grind longer, we'll finally arrive. But here's the truth no one tells you. The more you need it, the further it drifts away. Because obsession with achievement often comes from fear, not purpose. Fear of being average. Fear of being invisible. Fear of not being enough. That's not ambition. That's panic dressed in productivity. There's a boy named Arin, 26, ambitious, sleepless. He works late, eats fast, dreams big. His calendar is full, his heart is empty. Every minute must count. Every task must matter. He tracks his progress like a prisoner marking days on a wall. But every time he succeeds, it doesn't feel like success. He moves the goalpost. He tells himself, once I get there, I'll finally rest. But there keeps running faster than he can chase. Arin doesn't realize it yet, but he's become addicted to the chase itself. Because if he stops running, he has to face the silence. And the silence scares him. We live in a world that worships more. More hustle, more followers, more ambition. But no one tells you what more really costs. Sleep, stillness, peace. You become so afraid of slowing down that you forget why you started running. You call it drive. But sometimes it's just fear wearing a motivational quote. The paradox is simple. The harder you chase what you want, the more you remind yourself you don't have it. And your brain listens. It hears the desperation. It smells the lack. It whispers, you're behind. So even when you win, you feel like you're losing. Arin's story isn't unique. It's the quiet anthem of a generation that confuses movement with progress. We post about grinding. We glorify burnout. We romanticize being always on. But real success doesn't come from endless motion. It comes from direction. And direction doesn't come from pressure. It comes from peace. One night, after months of nonstop work, Arin's laptop crashes. Hours of work, gone. He stares at the black screen, hands shaking, and something inside him breaks. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't panic. He just exhales. For the first time in years, he feels something strange. Relief. He walks outside. The city hums, unaware. The night air is cold, real. He sits on a bench and looks up at the sky. A sky he hadn't noticed in months. And it hits him. I don't even know what I've been chasing anymore. That's the moment everything shifts. Not because he finds the answer, but because he finally stops asking the wrong question. He realizes he's been chasing motivation like a drug. A temporary high that demands more every time. But motivation was never the problem. The problem was attachment. He cared too much. He needed the result to feel like someone. And when you need something to prove your worth, you've already lost your freedom. Think about it. Have you ever tried to impress someone so hard that you forgot to be yourself? Or worked so hard to be happy that you forgot how happiness feels? That's the paradox. When you grip too tightly, life slips through your fingers. It's not that caring is bad. It's that desperation kills direction. There's a story about an archer. When he shoots for fun, he never misses. When he shoots for a gold medal, his hands tremble. The target hasn't changed. Only his mind has. Because when something matters too much, we stop seeing clearly. We replace intuition with pressure. We trade flow for fear. We start losing even while we're trying to win. Arin starts to live differently. He still works, but the energy changes. He stops measuring success by how fast he moves. He starts measuring it by how deeply he feels. He begins his mornings without a list, just presence. Sometimes he works for hours. Sometimes he rests. And surprisingly, he gets more done than ever before. Not because he's more motivated, but because he's less attached. When you stop needing to win, you start playing freely. And when you play freely, you perform your best. That's the secret the world doesn't teach you. Stop trying to control everything. Stop chasing validation through achievement. You don't need to earn peace by suffering first. Peace is what makes the work beautiful. Most people think success feels like fireworks, but real success often feels like quiet, like sitting under a tree and realizing you're not behind, like doing the work without the weight of what if I fail. It's when you finally stop running toward the horizon and notice the ground under your feet, because that's where life actually happens. Not in the next milestone, but in this moment. Arin learns something profound. The opposite of laziness isn't obsession. It's alignment. When your work comes from peace, not panic, you stop needing motivation altogether. You just do it naturally. Motivation fades. Identity lasts. So if you're tired of pushing, chasing, proving, try this. Let go. Work because you want to, not because you have to. Create because it feels right, not because it looks right. Do the thing and detach from the outcome. That's not giving up. That's growing up. Because the people who win the deepest battles aren't the ones who care the most. They're the ones who are free enough not to. They don't work to prove. They work to express. They don't chase meaning. They live it. And in that freedom, they find what the world keeps missing. The power of not needing to win to be whole. That's the paradox. When you stop caring from fear, you start caring from love. When you stop chasing success, you start becoming it. And the day you finally stop needing to win is the day you already have.